Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Fleck. I'm a wedding planner in Vail, Colorado. Today's video, we're talking all about wedding ceremonies. I'm so excited to be here with Joseph Littlebird. He's an amazing wedding celebrant in Colorado. And Leon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, actually, I've done wedding ceremonies all over the country. I've had people fly me to really cool remote places just to do ceremony. And for me, doing a wedding for someone is a great honor. It's almost like being chosen as Uncle Leon with someone that you've never met before. The thing that makes these ceremonies fun for everyone is that they're authentic. And it's really all about the love of the couple and who they are. And I really have done over 300 weddings already, which blew my mind when I thought about it. But it's been 25 years, so the memories that get created in a good ceremony, unforgettable.
You're so awesome. In your experience, what makes a great wedding ceremony?
Well, really understanding why we do ceremony, I think, is a primary thing. I think most people think of wedding ceremony strictly as it's traditional. You have to do one, right, in order to have the party. And I think that people have really lost the importance of why we actually have a ceremony. And this is an old Navajo elder explained it to me this way, which is, I think, the best way to think of it. We do ceremony, we gather our friends and family, that's your tribe, so that they can witness you becoming who you say you are. So it's really about the love of the bride and the groom. Their relationship brings them together to make a decision that they want to be together. And you bring all your loved ones together so that they can bless you in that journey. And the wedding ceremony is where you plant that seed of sacredness so it can grow in their hearts and their relationship can become who they say they are, husband and wife. When you take that really simple, beautiful premise, then ceremony becomes special and authentic and real, and it becomes about the love and the relationship of the couple.
Your weddings are so different and unique.
Thank you.
How would you describe, what makes them different?
No two are alike, and the reason is I spend a lot of time with the bride and groom, getting to know them, even long distance. With all the computer things we have now, it's easy to do. We can spend time together face to face. And I give them lots of great ideas and different blessings and things. And one of the things that makes my particular ceremonies, the Native Colorado wedding, so unique is I play Native American flute.
Oh, cool.
Which is really my calling. I travel all over the world giving concerts, so I play it very well. But Native flute has been used in wedding ceremonies here in Colorado and amongst the indigenous tribes for thousands of years. So it's a very traditional wedding instrument. And one of the beautiful things is when you have your friends and family come to Colorado, right, for a destination wedding, and it's outdoors and you have the majesty of the mountains and all the beauty, and the very first music that the guests hear is this wonderful flute, right?
Yeah.
And it's coming in from the back,
Powerful.
and the groom's coming in, and everybody, and it's like, whoa, because the whole vibe goes, whoo, right? And it gets really connected and strong, and they realize, oh, this isn't going to be like another wedding I've been to, right?
Yes. They're going to talk about it. It's memorable. And they're coming to Colorado for a Colorado wedding. So it's kind of sets the tone for the whole day.
Well, and that's why I use the term authentically Native Colorado weddings.
I love it.
One side of my family got here in the 1850s, so they were the first white settlers here, but the other side of my family had already been here for 12,000 years.
Wow.
So I'm the most native Coloradan you'll ever meet in your life.
That is so fun.
So I'm fortunate from both sides of the family was able to draw lots of tradition and customs because the pioneer side of my family were Christian. And so I grew up in private Catholic schools and studied in monasteries and really have a deep-seated love for the Christian tradition sides of weddings. But the other side's Navajo, and that's even longer, deeper, more beautiful roots. In fact, I've actually already performed weddings for 5 traditional Navajo brides because they can't find anyone on the reservation to do it. And
here?
Oh, they come from New Mexico and from Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I've flown to Arizona and New Mexico to do their weddings, or they've come here. But what a great honor that is. Mm-hmm. That these actual women who grew up with that tradition come for the real blessings. So, and I think that's an important element that a bride and groom should really think about when they're planning their wedding. That the ceremony is going to set the tone for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I also like what you said about like people, they don't plan the best ceremonies. It's like, don't they come here to get married? Isn't that
Right.
like the whole point of the whole wedding?
Right. I always love it when the bride and groom say, we really want a great ceremony, right?
It's best.
That's the best, because then you really understand. They understand that the ceremony sets the tone.
Yeah, sometimes. So in Colorado, your friends can also be the officiants, but in my professional experience, that doesn't work that well. Leon, what do you think about that?
Well, you and I have both seen people that had their friends or a family member do the wedding, and maybe 1 out of 10 is really good. And
1 out of 10's like, okay.
yeah, and the reason is they haven't done it before. They either over rehearse or under rehearse, or they get nervous, or they screw something up and forget. One of the things I like to do, if people are debating whether or not they should, have someone like me perform a really unique ceremony, but they are thinking about a friend, I say, bring the friend in and I'll have them help me.
That's such a good idea.
And we'll make them part of it. They don't have to, but you still have a really first-class ceremony going on. One of the things I do with my couples is provide them information about how to write your own vows and give them great vows samples, 3 pages of different vows they can pick from, and great readings if they want a friend to do a reading and things like that. And then I also make the entire timeline for the ceremony. As you know, as a wedding planner, I provided you with that.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. And it's all laid out exactly how it's going to work. So makes the wedding planners happy too.
Totally.
But the bride and the bride's mother and everybody can see what the ceremony is going to be beforehand. So, and one of the things that I really, really love, even after doing 300 weddings, is none of them are the same. Because it's really about the bride and groom. And I give them lots of options, and then we mold it to how it's going to work for them, best for them, how it feels really authentic and real and beautiful and sacred to them. And the comment that we always get is, that's the most beautiful wedding I've ever been to. And because it was different, it was real, it was unique. Of course, the music helps, because there's some of the blessings have flute music in it. So that's, for me, what makes me feel best is walking away from a wedding ceremony and the bride and groom are over the moon. They're so happy, and all they're getting is great comments. Well, then the cocktail hour goes great, and then everybody's dancing and feasting, and it sets the stage.
It totally does, and it's something that they'll talk about, like, to other people. Like, I went to this wedding and you should have seen how amazing this ceremony was, and the celebrant played the flute. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And just how you make it personal, because I feel like for destination weddings, that's like a concern for some of my couples. Like, maybe I'll just have my friend do it because I want it to be personal. But like, you take so much time to get to know the couples and make it like so them.
Well, and a friend would tell stories, but sometimes they tell the stuff you didn't want to hear either.
Totally.
So, and I always say that to my couples too. It's like, you don't want a stranger to do your wedding, so let's spend some time together.
That's so nice.
And and I know that I charge more than most celebrants too, but I spend a lot more time and provide something that's so unique and different that I've had people in their testimonies say it would have been worth 3 times the price.
That's so good.
It means a lot to them. It's something that they get to take away that's a memory they have forever. Because you get to do it once.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I always tell the grooms. It's like, hey man, you can't screw up because I've got you.
That's so easy.
You just relax and look at your bride and be in love and don't worry about it because I'm taking care of it. I've got this covered. And it really sets them at ease too. And there's something about the flute music, as you have witnessed in one of the weddings we did together, where the weather had been a little iffy and the wind was picking up and it might have rained. And it was like, I think we have a window, let's go. As soon as we started walking in and playing the flute, the weather cleared up.
Yeah.
And everything went perfect, and we got everybody done, and then back, and then remembered it started raining like crazy after we were at the cocktail hour back inside. I've had that happen so many times, Stephanie.
It's like you brought the good vibes.
It's the flute does that. It's just like it's the Pied Piper. It's magic.
It is magic. And it's magical.
And it's magical, yeah.
If I were a bride, what would you want me to know?
Well, it's always individual with every couple that I work with. Oftentimes the bride contacts me first, or the groom contacts me, or the parents, and which is always, it's like, I want to talk to them. And there's so many interesting and wonderful things to think about doing a great ceremony. As I mentioned earlier, the thing I really want both the bride and groom to know is that the reason we're doing this is to plant a sacred seed in your relationship. That everything we're doing in the ceremony is it's to plant a seed. The plant's not going to grow during the reception, right? I mean, it's going to grow in the future. It's about setting blessings that are going to happen every day, every season, every year, every phase of your life, that you will be continually blessed with this new sacred seed in your relationship that's going to grow into this wonderful garden of love. And that's the important thing, is to look at the ceremony not as signing a marriage license or saying now it's legal. That just changes your taxes. But as having your friends and family come and bless you and give you their love and prayers and energy, so that you can then, with your partner, start growing in new ways that you never felt before. Without the ceremony, that wouldn't happen, right?
Yeah, I love that so much.
The ceremony allows that sacred seed to be planted in fertile ground and start to grow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks again for coming here and being with me and doing this interview.
Well, it was a pleasure, Stephanie. It's always good to spend time with you, and you do beautiful weddings, so it's a pleasure and an honor to be with you.
Thank you. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you thought it was helpful, please subscribe. I do videos every Tuesday about wedding planning. I'm going to link all of Leon's information below so you can get in contact with him as well. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Many blessings.